Hello, today we are starting with trigonometry, and the whole of the first part is about right-angled triangles. Okay, now in right-angled triangles, people, we always have a 90-degree angle. So when you have a right-angled triangle, then we're going to look at our first possible question. If two sides are given and the third side is asked, then we use Pythagoras, right? And Pythagoras is a very, very important formula for you to know. But now, before we can actually look at what is Pythagoras, I want us to first look at the right angle triangle. Remember that the side that is opposite the 90-degree angle is called the hypotenuse, and that is always the longest side, okay? That is always the hypotenuse, which is the longest side. Then for Pythagoras, we call the other two sides, which are the shorter sides, just simply sides. Okay, so in step one, in any right angle triangle, we start with the identification of the sides. Now, if we are talking about two sides, or let me say, if we are talking about side lengths only, then we are identifying the hypotenuse and the two shorter sides. Okay, then we're going to get to Pythagoras. Okay, we're going to write down our formula. Right, step 2. But what is the formula for Pythagoras? Okay, the formula for Pythagoras is hypotenuse squared equals side squared plus side squared. I want you to remember this. We say that in a rhythm and we snap our fingers. So please listen. We're going to say Pythagoras is hypotenuse squared equals side squared plus side squared. We say it in a rhythm. I repeat. Pythagoras is hypotenuse squared equals side squared plus side squared. Okay, that is Pythagoras. So we are going to start by writing down our formula. Side squared plus side squared. Okay, let's assume they have given you this side length as 3 and that side length as 4, and they had asked you to calculate the hypotenuse. Then in the next step, people, after having got a formula, we substitute values. That's always the same in mathematics. When we work with a formula, the next step is substituting values. Okay, so instead of h, we cannot write anything because h is being asked. Then we take the first side, which is 3, and we square it, plus take the second side, which is 4, and we square it. Then you put this into your calculator. Then remember, we want to know what is h squared. So that's 9 plus 16, that's 25. We don't want to know what is h squared, we want to know what is h. So we need to get rid of the square. So we're going to use Goro is OO, which is the square root and the square root. And then you calculate h as being 5 centimeter. All right, so again, Pythagoras, people, is used when we are working with side lengths only, okay? 2 side lengths are given, the third side length is being asked. Pythagoras is hypotenuse squared equals side squared plus side squared. You must just simply learn this formula. This is a really very, very important formula, people. We always use that. So when you see a right angle triangle, your mind must immediately go to Pythagoras. Okay, then we start by identifying the sides. The longest side opposite the 90 degree is the hypotenuse. Okay, and the other two we just simply call sides. I want to do another example. Let's say they had given you the hypotenuse as 5 and they had asked you to calculate this side. Then we would again, I've identified the hypotenuse and the two sides. We would then write our formula, which is hypotenuse squared equals side squared plus side squared. We would then substitute our value. Now in this case, you're going to substitute the 5 instead of h. Then this side is 3 squared plus this side squared. And now remember people, this is 25 and we're going to take that over to that side, minus 9, which gives you 16 equals side squared. Okay, and then again we want to get rid of the squared because we want to know what is the side, which means we're going to use the opposite operation. So in this case, the side is 4 centimeters. So that's Pythagoras, and I emphasize people, Pythagoras is a very important formula. We use that in many cases. So please ensure that you learn this formula to memorize that and not to forget.